Call Her Mommy, the MILF Manifesto, where motherhood is messy, MILFs are unhinged, and naps are a fantasy. Welcome to motherhood.
Hello, you guys. Welcome to Call Her Mommy, the MILF Manifesto, the podcast where stretch marks are hot, mental breakdowns are normalized, and if you haven't cried in a Target parking lot, are you even a mom? I don't know. Are you? So today we're going there, like deep there. That's why I am in a comfortable sweat set. Dogs are out, all the things. We are getting comfy and real and going deep today. We're going into the hormonal hellscape that is postpartum and motherhood, where the stigma of having meds, taking meds, and what's totally normal to be one bad diaper or dirty diaper away from having a fucking breakdown in public. So, because motherhood's hard, like taking Prozac for breakfast hard. So today's episode is postpartum, Prozac, and panicking in public. So we're going to really be talking about the dark side of postpartum today. And we're going to normalize taking meds and having meds because we need it. Like there is no shame in taking meds because motherhood's hard. Like, it is fucking hard. And there are days where we thrive and there are days where we are trying to survive. So let's talk. See, I have my podcast again, or not. Oh my God. I have my iPad. See, you guys, like I should be taking some Prozac this morning. So I have my iPad here and I'm just scrolling because I am trying to make sure I stay focused because today's episode is a good one. So let's start with the lie that we were all sold, that this is the happiest time of our lives, or this is the best we'll ever feel, all of that. Like, who the fuck sold us on that bullshit? Like, come on. Seriously, who said that? Because I definitely remember people being like, oh my God, you look so beautiful, or whatever they were saying. Meanwhile, I was like gaining weight rapidly. I was swollen. I was uncomfortable, like all this. Now, I'm not saying I don't love my kids, because Lord, I love my kids, but like, they are exhausting. So let's really talk about postpartum and the struggles of postpartum, but also the struggles of like pregnancy mental health. So we're really getting into mental health today. So I will insert the trigger warning here that we are talking about mental health today. So if you are somebody that is struggling, please make sure that you reach out or talk to somebody, because you are not alone and you do not have to suffer alone. So what I want to talk about is like, when I'm trying to think how I want to word this. So postpartum is a wild ride. The hormones, the rage, the trying to figure it all out, trying to balance everything, trying to figure out who you are while caring for this new human. It's wild. And when they discharge you from the hospital, they always tell you like signs to look for with postpartum depression, the baby blues, what's normal, what's like, hey, you should probably really talk to somebody sooner than later. So everybody gets the baby blues. If you don't, you're lying to yourself. You get some form of baby blues where it's just like the hormones come in like that and you're crying. You don't know why. It's all the things. But the mental health piece is huge because there is so much that we don't talk about or that we're afraid to talk about. Because it's the not sleeping. We're not sleeping because we're feeding the baby or we're up or we're worrying. I remember with my first child, I like didn't sleep because I was so worried that he was going to die in the middle of the night. Even though he was like in the snooze, strapped in, like all the things, I was still worried. I was still getting up and checking his breathing. I was monitoring him. I had multiple like cameras and apps, like all the things. I had like the Nanit, the Owlet, like he was right by my side, the snoo, like everything for my first kid. And not that we don't do it for my second, but I just remember being like oh my God, like, is he going to be okay? Like, are we going to make it through the night? And then waking up so exhausted because I was tossing and turning and I wasn't sleeping, and then I wasn't taking care of myself. And it was just like this whole spiral cycle. But I am somebody who suffers from really bad anxiety. I always have. So when I got pregnant the first time, my therapist was kind of like, hey, it might not be a bad idea for you to go on medication. Because I was somebody who was like really opposed to taking medication. I had done like the medication where it was just like an as needed. Like if a really bad panic attack was coming on, I'd take something and it would hit. But I'd also get like really tired. I was not a fan of taking something daily. Because I am much more like trying to be like more holistic and all of that. Not that medicine isn't good, but I remember going through all that. So with my first son, they prescribed it and I never took it. I was kind of like, I got this, it's fine, I don't need it, whatever. But I had it in case I needed it. And I think that was the comfort, knowing I had the medicine in case I needed it. And now I will tell you this. Make sure you talk to your OB, because there are certain medications for anxiety and depression that are pregnancy safe and breastfeeding safe. So make sure that you talk to your doctors before you start anything, or let them know if you're on medication or whatever, because you just want to make sure you're taking care of yourself and staying healthy while also taking care of your baby, and that your baby is healthy, whether it's in utero or breastfeeding. So when I got pregnant with my second, I was okay. Like mentally, I was kind of like in a better place. I was like, not that I was ready, because I had no idea I was pregnant, but that's a whole other story. But when I hit my third trimester, I just had my baby in March, and it is what, July? So I had my baby in March, but around December, it was in December, my toddler got RSV. And he was up, he was not sleeping. He was also going through a sleep regression because he was about 1.5 years at the time. So it was pure fucking hell. And I was like 6 months pregnant, I want to say, and not sleeping while you're 6 months pregnant, like, because you're not sleeping already because of the insomnia or the back pain, I had horrific sciatica pain this pregnancy, just like all the discomforts of being pregnant, but then also not sleeping because your toddler is being a fucking terrorist, and they're sick. So of course the toddler only wanted me, because they always want mommy when they're sick. So he was on me. Now I was 6 months pregnant and I was pretty big, so he wanted to be on me, but I couldn't hold him the way he wanted me to. So it was a pure shit show. And I was not sleeping. And I remember one night I lost my shit. I kid you not, it was Christmas Eve. It was the middle of the night, and I was just like, go to sleep. And he was calling for me. He was crying. He had had RSV. I had had RSV. We were like on the outside of it. We were like, I was still recovering. He was kind of okay. He was just like very needy. And I remember losing my shit and screaming, why are you crying? Like, why? Just shush. I may have even said shut up. And I just like lost it. And I felt horrible, because here I am. He's 1.5 years. He doesn't know any better. And in that moment, I was like, something's got to change. Like, I need help. And I was pregnant. It wasn't even I was postpartum. It was prenatal. So my mental health really, really spiraled in the like last 4 months of my pregnancy with my second. I haven't really talked a lot about it because, I'm not gonna lie, I was like ashamed. I was like, and I also didn't really understand what was happening with me. I was like, what's happening? I already had a kid. I never went through this. But when you're pregnant and you're taking care of a toddler, it's a different beast. And the lack of sleep and the lack of taking care of myself was really impacting me. And then I'm a teacher, so when I went back to work, I was getting up at 5 a.m. after like not sleeping, and I really was not okay. I was crying. I wasn't eating. I wasn't taking care of myself. It got to the point where I was like, I didn't even, not that I wanted to harm myself in any way. It was just, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to take care of my kid. I didn't have the energy to take care of myself, let alone him. I was having panic attacks and anxiety attacks like multiple times a day. I wasn't eating. I didn't want to eat, but I knew I needed to eat for myself and the baby. And I remember playing here in our playroom with my husband and my son and telling my husband, I need help. I need help. And he was like, I agree. And so we went to I called my OB. They got me in right away. We were talking and they said, listen, we think it's best that you take some time off from work because right now you're not okay. The baby was, not that he was showing signs of distress, but like if it continued down the road, it was leading to that. And also the position that the baby was in was very uncomfortable for me. So I had physical issues as well. So I had the mental health, I had physical pain where my baby was breached and he was stuck in a position where I couldn't breathe. When I would lay down, I couldn't breathe. When I would go on my side, my sciatica would flare up. And I was not only in physical pain, but like the mental piece was awful. So I took some time and I thought that would help getting some sleep. We were sleeping a little bit better. And I felt good being home and kind of like settling and just taking time. My parents and my in-laws would take the toddler during the day and I would just be able to relax, but I still didn't feel like myself. So I went back to my doctor and they said, listen, you've done pretty much everything. It's time for you to start taking medicine. And it was the first time that I actually wanted to do it. Like I said before, I never wanted to take medicine. I always, even with like an antibiotic, I'm like, ooh, do I really need it? Do I want to take it? Like, I'm just not like, I don't like taking certain things because I don't know how my body's going to react. So being pregnant and having to take something, I was like, not only how is it going to affect me, how is it going to affect this baby? But they were like, listen, and I had the conversations with my OB. I sat down there. My husband came with me. We sat in her office and I bawled my eyes out and I was just like, I don't know what to do. And she said, listen, I'm not forcing you to take it. It's up to you ultimately, but it's safe for the baby. We would never put you on anything. It's a low dose, so you're taking a child's dose anyway. It will take some time to adjust, but you're causing more stress on the baby by not taking it. Because the panic and the stress that you're putting through your mind and your body is hurting your baby. And when I heard that, there was no doubt in my mind I had to start taking something. So they prescribed me some medication. And I remember being like that stigma of I'm on an anti-anxiety med and antidepressant and feeling that like shame that I needed something because I couldn't handle it. And I'm super like tough and strong in certain ways, and I don't like to feel weak. And knowing that I couldn't fix it without having to put something in my body really was something I had a hard time with. But at the end of the day, when my doctor told me it's better for you and your baby if you take it, obviously. So they said, listen, try it. And if you don't feel better, you can stop. Like, you're not going to be addicted to it. So I was like, okay. So I started taking it. It did take some time for me to adjust. I got really not loopy. I got really tired because that's like a big side effect. And I felt better. I wasn't crying. My parents and my husband noticed stuff pretty quickly. And I realized like in that moment, like, I'm okay. I'm not weak. I'm strong because I went through this and I decided to get help. So getting the help and taking a medication didn't make me weak. It made me stronger. It made me healthier. It made me a better mom to my toddler and my unborn baby at that time. But the whole piece of it, like that feeling of the shame, like really messes with people. And it's okay to take medication. It's okay to need therapy. I mean, it's 2025. Everybody's in fucking therapy of some sort, right? Like, it's fine. It's okay to need the help because it makes you a better version of yourself. So, like, super shameless shout out to all my doctors and therapists that like have helped me over the years, especially lately. Like, you guys really got me through it, so thank you. But it's very hard to say I need help whether you're pregnant or not. It's really, really hard to admit it, but once you admit it, like, that's the first step. And you feel a little better voicing that. So if you need help, ask for it. Reach out to somebody. Talk to your partner. Talk to a close friend or family member. Find a therapist. Talk to your doctors. Like, talk to them, communicate, and find the best avenue that's going to work for you. Whether it's medication, whether it's therapy, whether it's whatever it is, make sure you get the help because you're not weak. You are strong and you are going to be a better version of yourself in the long run, not only for yourself, but for your family. Now, I didn't want to be numb. Like, I was so scared that like my medicine was going to make me like a total zombie. But I also didn't want to snap at my toddler, for like breathing too loud near me. So Lexapro it was, or in this case, Prozac. So yeah, you guys don't have to feel alone in taking medication. So many more people than you know take it. Like, I have friends that I had no idea took anxiety or like medication for depression or anxiety. And when I kind of was like, hey, so I'm kind of doing this, they were all like, oh, I take that, or I take this. And it's like more normalized. So normalize taking it. It's okay to be not okay. It's totally okay to be fucked up. I mean, like 2025, like we've been through 2020. We've been through the, you know what? So like, it's okay to not be okay, but like talk to somebody. And yeah, postpartum is the same thing. So when I started taking because I took it the last 3 months of my pregnancy, actually it was like 2.5 months by that point, but they were like, hey, do not stop taking it once that baby's born because that postpartum anxiety is going to hit and you're going to wish you were still on it. So I'm still on it 4 months postpartum, almost 5 months. But postpartum anxiety is something that like, it's like a nice little surprise that sneaks up when you're not paying attention and nobody warns you about. Because you'll be at a store. You'll be at Target with your baby and all of a sudden you're sweating, your heart's pounding, your hands start shaking, and all of a sudden you're freaking out that everybody's judging you because your baby's crying in public. And like, you lose it. So it's the fact that like, it's that nice little like, oh, it's like a little treat that sneaks up on you when like you're kind of like super confident when you're out with your baby, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, people are looking at my baby. Do they think the baby's not dressed for the appropriate weather? Did I not dress it? Is it because it doesn't have a blanket on? Are they judging me because I have my baby out and maybe they're not old enough? Like, you start spiraling. So we've been there. We've been in stores. We've been in the parking lots where we're crying, we're freaking out. You're feeling super judged by everybody, but like, what if they're not judging you? What if they're like silently applauding you for getting out and doing stuff? I know or have heard stories about moms that don't leave the house because of their postpartum anxiety, and my heart breaks for them because not only are you suffering, but you're like hurting your baby in the long run. You're not exposing them to the world. You cannot shelter your children from the world. The world's a scary place, but they need you to help guide them through it. And when you're showing that you're afraid of the world, you're gonna kind of put that on them, and they're in turn going to be afraid of the world. So get them out. Get outside for walks. I think that was one of the biggest things that helped with my mental health in both postpartum, is getting outside and going for walks. Just something about getting outside in the sunshine, 5, 10, 15 minutes. It can be longer, especially in the beginning when you're still recovering from birth. Just getting outside and connecting in nature, you'll feel better. If you go for a walk, you'll feel better. One of my girlfriends was having a rough day, and I was like, listen, I'm coming over and we're going for a walk. You need it. And afterwards, she was like, thank you so much. Like, I feel better. Like, I'm still spiraling, but like, I feel like I can handle it now. And it warmed my heart, because it was just two moms connecting, talking, and just going for a walk with our babies in the strollers. I will tell you this. I have cried in the pediatrician's office many times. They always make you go like right after the baby's born. So like you have to set up your appointment. So when my recent son was born a couple months ago, like the day after we got home, I had to go to the pediatrician's office. Now, mind you, I'm still recovering from a C-section. I'm like so uncomfortable. Clothes don't fit. You're still big. You're uncomfortable. You're leaking. You're stitched up. You're hormonal. And I remember crying at like 9 a.m. in the pediatrician's office just because. And I couldn't like get it together. I like was able to slow down, and then I got home and just bawled the entire day. And my husband was like, just relax. It's okay. I cried, and my friends were texting me, and they're like, hey, do you need anything? And I was like, I hate this. And they were like, it's okay. You're okay. It's the hormones. My mom stopped by, and she was just like, you're okay. Like, you will get through this. You've gotten through this before, and you'll get through it again. So there's just so many things that postpartum hits you with. It's the crying out of nowhere. It's the having to breastfeed while you're having a panic attack. It's the mom rage at the smallest, littlest things. Or it's having panic attacks like at all parts of the night, the day, just randomly. It's all of that. But there's nothing like having a full-blown panic attack when your baby is like sucking on your boob, because you are locked in and you're like, I gotta feed this baby, but I'm also literally about to lose my shit. So yeah. So we are going to have a segment that is called the MILF Mailbag. Yes, I said that correctly, the MILF Mailbag, where it is mom confessions. We all love a good mom confession. So please write in, text me, DM me, voice memo me, all the things. I want to hear your mom confessions about everything, from pregnancy to postpartum to everything in between. I want to hear it, because you might get featured on an episode coming up. So let's dive into the MILF mailbag of where you guys all send me your stuff. Now, because I haven't like launched the MILF mailbag yet. I am going to be putting it on social media later on, but I do have some MILF mailbag stories up my sleeve. So I am just scrolling so I can find them. So I had one mom friend who told me that she told her husband that she was going to go to that she had a doctor checkup. And she did not, in fact, have a doctor checkup. In fact, she went to the store and sat in the parking lot eating ice cream. She went to the ice cream parlor, grabbed some ice cream, and sat in the parking lot and just ate ice cream for like an hour. She ate, she cried, and then she went back and pretended that she was all good to her husband. Girl, I feel ya. Nothing like good like ice cream that can't really fix anything. And also a good cry. Like a good cry totally helps. Another mom friend told me she she screamed at her stroller when she was on a walk with her baby because it was making too much like squeaking and rattling on the pavement, and then apologized to her stroller for screaming at her stroller. Girl, I feel ya. We've all lost our shit on the weirdest things. But at least you're owning it. And hey, at least you apologized. Like, whatever. I'm trying to think of one of my mom. I mean, I kind of did like one of my mom confessions earlier where I totally like lost my shit and screamed at my toddler when I was 6 months pregnant. Trying to think. I'm sure there's some other good ones. I just really have to think about other ones, but we got to save them for other episodes. So before we wrap it up, thank you for listening. Please know that postpartum and prenatal depression and anxiety are not easy. You are not alone when you suffer and you are suffering through it. Please, please make sure that you talk to somebody because it is so important for your health, for your baby's health, and for just the future of your well-being. So please know, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to your OB. You can reach out to a therapist, your partner, a family friend, a sibling, close friend, anybody. Just make sure you are telling somebody that you are not okay, and don't be afraid to ask for help because you are worth so much more. So as we close out, I want to make sure I didn't forget anything. So as we close out, if nobody's told you this today or recently, you are not broken. You are not weak. You are not dramatic. Well, maybe you are, but who doesn't love a good drama? You're a MILF. And it stands for today, Mom, I'd like to fix her nervous system and validate her life experience. So today's episode of Postpartum, Prozac, and Panicking in Public's MILF acronym. It stands for Mom, I'd like to fix, meaning fix your brain, fix your health, fix your mental health, fix your physical health, fix whatever you need fixing. Because this podcast isn't just for cute moments. It's not for the Pinterest worthy. It's for the ugly cries. It's for the panic attacks. It's for the whispered and shameful I'm not okay. And we're trying to normalize the I'm not okay to it's okay. Oh my God, there's a mosquito. It's okay to not be okay because motherhood isn't always magical. It isn't always beautiful. Sometimes it's just survival. So thank you for listening. If you loved this episode, please share it with a mom who's barely holding it together and tell her she's not alone. Make sure she knows she has you to talk to. So follow, rate, DM me the chaos that you are experiencing in this life of motherhood. And I will see you next week for another mental breakdown wrapped in a bow. MILF mode still activated. Love you. Mean it. Bye, guys.